We like what we see so far, but don't forget, this is totally non-destructive editing. We can come back a month from today and decide we don't want to wear this thing anymore and change it completely. We have control. But we have at least one more thing that we have to do, and that is at the very end, our placeholder call to action. Let's open up our titling options here, and let me move that a little bit more this way. We're going to stick with our tradition and use blur. Drag it down on top of the placeholder. Replace. Now watch what happens when you do this. It changes the text to the text that I typed in the placeholder, assuming that's the text that I want. Sometimes it is, so it's not a bad option. Now I want one more. I'm going to drag down again. This one is actually almost perfect, but it's a couple of frames short, so I'm going to drag it and just bring it like that. So 8 frames. Let's start with this one right here, call to action. Go into our inspector, select the text, get rid of it, and type in something maybe like this. Public Broadcasting presents the future of energy. I'm going to press the return key twice, and then I'm going to type in something like check local stations for date and time. I'm going to go into video and go into my transform position for Y. Click it once and then click and drag. I'm going to move it up just a little bit like that. Okay. So we have that one going for us. Let's do this. Get into that one. Go back into text and select it, delete it. How about something like this? Before it's too late. ... Now let's change the size of both of them to 100. Do the same thing to this one. There is one more thing I think I want to try before we actually view it. I want one more piece of background sound effect for the factory right here. And so what I'm going to do is go into my music and type in factory. Now we got 2. One's only 1 second, so that's not going to work. Factory in machines. We're going to try that. I'm going to drag it over, put it right there. I'm going to clip off the front end of it so we don't have that little transition and it goes directly to it. Then I'm going to do AB, press letter B on your keyboard to get your blade tool, cut it, letter A again, select and delete. And actually there is one more thing I want to do. Come down here. The ticking stops at the end of this, and I want it to kind of slowly go down in terms of volume. So select this one here, bring over your playhead to right there. Now, if we go into our inspector, and we have audio selected up here, not info, you can see that. If you come over here, you see this light up over here, click on that, and that adds a keyframe. Now drag the playhead, because the keyframes are determined by the playhead, drag it to the end, and add another keyframe there, and turn the volume down on the second keyframe. So I'm saying to that clip, when we get here, slowly lower the volume until you get here. Let's see if that works. Perfect. Tell you what, let's take our playhead all the way to the beginning. You press the home key if you want to. And let's look at the whole thing in full screen. You ready? Got your popcorn? Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. Now let's leave it where it is. We may come back to this, but we might not. What I'm thinking is there are a few other things I would like to play around with, like even making it shorter. We could chop this down to 1 minute. We could chop it even down to 30 seconds. But I'll tell you this, the shorter the amount of time you have, the more absolutely focused you have to be as the director to get the information across. You got a minute and a half? That's plenty of time to do a lot of stuff. You got 30 seconds? You got to be more focused. But we'll talk about some of this stuff later in the upcoming chapters.